Hello and welcome everybody to the Mobility Direct YouTube channel. I'm Sergio and today we're going to talk about the Baja Bandit scooter known as model number BA140. I'm going to tell you why it's my favorite model for everyday use, whether I'm at home or on vacation with the family visiting theme parks. My dad also loves it and uses it all the time when we're working on projects together around the farm, which we have videos of. In this video, I'm going to share my experience using it at the Naples Zoo the other day with my daughter. We had a blast seeing all the exotic animals and monkeying around for hours on end. We got to see a tiger, a bear, and there was even a nice little playground that my daughter could play at for a long time. And the best part about everything was my knee wasn't sore at the end of the day. Keep in mind, we have in-depth review videos on the Baja Bandit, so if you want to learn more about it, I'll link to the video playlist at the top right-hand corner of the screen. I'll also put specifications at the end of the video in a list format, comparing it against the Revo 2.0, which is its little brother with less features and it's a little more affordable. I'll tell you how you can also get a big discount on your next purchase if you're interested, with a little hidden message at the end of the video, so stay tuned if you want to learn more. Alright, so here we are, entering the zoo on a day where the sun wasn't too bright and the temperature was just right. Speaking of bright, I gotta tell you, the Baja Bandit has the most powerful lights out of any travel-friendly mobility scooter. Honestly, like when I take this thing out to festivals and nighttime gatherings, I'm almost embarrassed to turn the lights on because I don't want to blind anyone. Seriously, it's super bright. So I just use the hazard modes, which aren't as bright, but still really light up the path in front of you. Aside from the lights, I also just love how versatile it is. Not only does it break down into 5 lightweight pieces for convenient transport, but it's also rugged enough to handle some of the most extreme conditions and terrains, which you'll notice throughout this video. So here we are approaching the Flamingo exhibit, which was pretty cool, so we stopped for a bit just to take some pictures. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, I want to tell you about our YouTube channel. By subscribing, you're not only going to get notified when we release new videos, but you could also win a free mobility scooter just by subscribing and leaving a comment. You're automatically in. We could select you randomly to win a free mobility scooter. We do it all the time. I also want to tell you about our free product catalog. If you want to learn more about our latest products, get some discount codes, claim a copy. It's free. Just go to our website, mobilitydirect.com, click on the green button at the top of the page that says free catalog. Fill out the simple short form and you'll get one in the mail within 1 to 2 weeks tops. You could also just call the number below, speak with one of our non-commissioned sales experts, give them your address, and they'll process a request for you. All right, so let's get back to the zoo. Now, we took some pictures and we're moving on to the next part of the park. What's nice is that it was around Halloween time and they had some pretty cool decorations. Fortunately, Addie didn't get too scared of them. Because of the time of the day, I guess, and the temperatures, we didn't really see all of the animal exhibits, so we just skipped one and we moved on towards the lions, which was pretty awesome. We saw a female lion there just kind of taking in the shade and relaxing. We also saw a male lion on the way out, but we really couldn't get a good shot because it was hiding. Either way, it was really awesome to see those majestic animals. They're huge and super powerful. So once we got some pictures of the lions, we went on over next door to the zebra exhibit. Pretty ironic that they have zebras right next to lions, which, from what I understand, is one of their primary food sources in Africa. So here we are going on some gravel, and I gotta say, this thing is super powerful. I mean, not only is it powerful enough to do farm work around the property, which we have tons of videos of. You can see I'm towing a 50-gallon agricultural sprayer here, but it's also super convenient to travel with. It has a 400-pound weight capacity and it breaks down into 5 lightweight pieces. You can also take it grocery shopping. I put the rear cage-style basket just to make extra room, and it has all the bells and whistles. It even has a USB charging port to charge your phone with. Automatic brakes as well, so it's super safe. Honestly, this is hands down the best value mobility scooter out there if you want something versatile enough to handle the outdoors and to use indoors. So here we are going over a little bridge. You can see it's super compact too. This is pretty much like a one-way bridge, and I was able to pass on by somebody with a scooter. So the dimensions of this scooter are 27.83 inches wide by 49.6 inches long. So here we are, just appreciating the view of the lake. Kind of got me some PSD of the time an alligator attacked my truck. In Florida, I always assume there's big alligators, even in a large puddle of water. And that's kept me safe so far. So here we are going over some really, really tough tree roots and stumps there, transitioning from that to gravel. When we were leaving the zebra exhibit, I had to stop to take a photo opportunity with the pumpkins and the haystacks. Addie is super photogenic, and we couldn't leave without getting some pictures for Mom. So with the suspension system on the Baja Bandit, it has coils for the frame on the front and the back, and it also has a suspension system on the seat post. So there's really like 3 different suspension points: the front, the back, and the middle. It's honestly the most comfortable suspension setup I've ever used on any mid-size mobility scooter. You can barely feel any of the imperfections on the sidewalk, the grass, the transitioning. Super, super smooth. Here we are passing by the park. We didn't really see too many animals on some of those exhibits. We did see some pretty cool statues, and we're approaching the part of the zoo that was our favorite part by far. We got to feed giraffes. These things are massive. They're like 20 foot tall. They seem like they're having a good old time. People were just coming by and feeding them. We got to feed them some lettuce heads, and Addie was just awesome about it. I thought she would be scared, but she loved it. And walking around this entire park, I've done it before. It's a long walk. I've had 3 knee surgeries. Taking the mobility scooter made it such a better experience. You don't have to end up having sore feet or a sore knee at the end of the day, and you get to carry around a lot of stuff with you and make epic memories with your loved ones. In this video, you're going to learn a little bit more about the Baja Bandit while we show you what the Naples Zoo is like. So if you're ever in town, I highly recommend stopping by. If you have any questions that we don't cover in this video, be sure to leave a comment. We reply to every comment within 1 business day. All right, so here we are pulling up to the hyena and the cheetah exhibits, which are, ironically again, next door to one another. I could see that the hyena is being stalked by the cheetah. Cheetah looks very hungry, or maybe they're just best friends and we don't know it. Either way, we had to get a nice little selfie picture. So here's a little up-close shot of the hyena pacing back and forth. I think he was getting fed by the handler, so he was waiting for him to come out of the back door there. Either way, it's a dog-eat-dog world, and it looks like the cheetah is just being tempted with a delicious snack. All right, so that's enough of the hyena and the cheetah. We are moving along to the next exhibit, and while we're doing that, I want to tell you the top speed of the Baja Bandit's 8 miles per hour, which is really nice when you need to zip along and you don't want to waste too much time. In this case, we showed up pretty late. We only had a few hours before they closed, so we took a top speed trip over to the snake exhibit where we saw a pretty big python, and of course, Addie was not scared at all. So we took some videos. The python seemed to be interacting with Addie, which was super cool. So something else about the Baja Bandit is that it can support up to 400 pounds and it can travel up to 14.5 miles with a standard battery pack. You could upgrade the battery pack to a 40 amp hour battery and it can go up to 29 miles. Again, the Baja Bandit does break down into 5 lightweight pieces. The heaviest piece is going to be 71 pounds. So you might need help lifting that front piece into the back of your car. It all depends on your limitations. Now, a lot of people ask about the ground clearance. So the ground clearance rating is 4.45 inches, but at the motor, it's a little under 2 inches. And a lot of people on our YouTube channel ask about that. Well, I could tell you, I've taken it on some pretty rough terrain and it handles very well. But it's not like a Wrangler that's going to be an outdoor beast. All right, here we were at an exhibit and we saw something pretty interesting here. The animal has a snout that looks like an anteater, and next door there was some sort of bird that looked kind of scary, kind of like out of a horror film with black and red around the eyes. Next door to that bird, we saw some monkeys. These monkeys were cute little fellers, tiny little cotton top tamarin monkeys. Pretty cool. Looked like they were just relaxing, playing around. There was like 4 or 5 of them in that little exhibit. And Addie did not seem to really care about them too much. She probably couldn't see them. I tried showing them to her, but I think she was more interested in the rock that she picked up. So here we are pulling up to the orangutan exhibit, which I gotta say, these orangutans look strikingly similar to how I look in the morning when I wake up. Looks like he's just making his way over to the bathroom and just woke up from a long nap. I really enjoyed seeing the orangutans. I think they're super cute. They're very, very funny looking, and they just act surprisingly similar to humans, in my opinion. I mean, at least they act very similar to how I act sometimes. So we took some time to kind of just hang out with them for a while, and I'll tell you in the meantime a couple other things about the Baja Bandit. So it does have an incline rating of 6 degrees. We've taken it on inclines, and it handles very well on modest inclines. Now, if you need to go up a very, very, very steep mountain-like incline, I don't think it's going to work. You might need to get like the Wrangler or something with a lot more power behind the motors. Now, it is IPX4 rain resistant, and it has a 600 peak watt motor. Now, here we are pulling up to the bear exhibit. I got to say that bear was cute, but also looking at its teeth, you could tell you don't want to make him upset or, hold some sort of picnic basket hostage, because I have a feeling he'll do whatever he needs to get it from you. Addie seemed to enjoy the bear, and we were just kind of hanging out, of course, getting some videos to share with the family. Great experience overall, and there wasn't a lot left after the bear exhibit. We kind of just moseyed along and kind of wanted to test the limitations of the Baja Bandit here. So we went down a little bit of a curb with a mulch ramp that really you shouldn't be walking over, let alone scooting over. Even with that 1.5-inch ground clearance at the motor, it handled just fine. And that's when we approached the Tiger exhibit. Now, the Tiger wasn't out at the time, so we kind of just circled around for a little bit and didn't want to get too far, and we found a playground, and Addie had a blast. Kids love playgrounds. They have a huge playground with a little concession stand next door, and Addie just played around and was super happy to just expend some of that energy. Once we circled back from the playground, guess what? The Tiger was out and taking a bath. It was pretty epic to see that, not gonna lie. We were really excited to see the Tiger. Even Addie was fixated on the Tiger, whereas normally she just doesn't pay attention and kind of wanders her eyes elsewhere. This time she was really interested in the Tiger. I think she thought it was like a dog, because we do have a dog at home, but I guess this is just what she considers a really big, cuddly dog. Thankfully, there was all kinds of security fencing and really thick glass to protect us from the Tiger. But the Tiger didn't really seem interested in us either. And this is what I love about mobility scooters. When I go to Universal Studios with the family or Orlando just to visit any theme park, I take a scooter and I'm not miserable at the end of the day. My feet aren't hurting, my back isn't sore, and my knees feel great. So I always recommend a mobility scooter if you're in a situation like me or similar. And the Baja Bandit is just going to be the most versatile option. My go-to model every single time. They just came out with some new camo color editions, which I love. I have the green camo here, and we're just making our way out. Unfortunately, the automatic door openers for handicap access weren't working. Kind of a bummer, but what can you do? I've done this many times without help, so I was able to just kind of pull it with one hand. And the good thing about the Baja Bandit is that you can use one hand to control the forward and the back. The throttle paddle on the handle is throttle sensitive, so if you just barely pull it back, you can kind of creep forward very slowly and carefully. Couple of other things before we finish up the video. Some people ask about the comfort adjustment feature. So it does have a tilting handlebar assembly, so you can tilt it closer to you, further away from you, with a little foot activated lever down towards the base, so you don't really need to bend over to loosen anything. The seat does slide back and forward. The seat rotates. It has armrests that are width adjustable and height adjustable, and they flip up. They're also removable. So you pretty much have all the comfort adjustment features. And because it's a Pride Mobility product, it comes with a 1-year in-home repair contract, which you can upgrade. So you can upgrade that to a 3-year plan, and that's going to cover any warranty-approved repairs that are needed. You do get a 2-year warranty on the electronics, 3 years for the battery, and 2 years for the motor, and a lifetime warranty on the frame. So now we're going to show you what it's like to take it apart. It's pretty straightforward. The battery and the basket come right off. You can detach the front half, which is going to have the footboard, the steering assembly, and the front wheels. You can detach that from the back, which has the motor and the rear 2 wheels. Once you have those parts all in the car, you can kind of just stack on the seats, the battery, and the front basket anywhere you'd like. And in this case, I do have an SUV. You probably will need an SUV to put everything in the back. If you have a sedan, you're probably going to need a big trunk space, and the seats of the scooter might need to go in the back seat of your car. So keep that in mind, folks. And that's going to wrap up the video. I hope you've enjoyed, and as promised, I'm going to throw the specifications on the screen. We're actually going to go through all the custom options, the color options, the seat options. You can get an 18-inch wide or a 20-inch wide seat for an upgrade. There's that battery upgrade that we talked about briefly, service plan for in-home repairs. You get the option to do a 1 year for free, 2 or a 3 year for a price. Tons of different accessories as well. Delivery is free as long as you do standard doorstep delivery, but we have some other options as well. Now on our website, this is what we're looking at, is our website. I put the link in the description and the top right-hand corner. If you want to visit our website, you can click on different tabs to see a description with videos. You can click on specifications. It's going to show you all the specs. I will go down the specs slowly. You can pause and go back, or call the non-commissioned sales force with the number below. Speak with one of our friendly sales experts, and they'll answer any questions that you may have. They're not pushy. They just want to help you find a product that's right for you. So I do want to tell you that there is one other product made by Pride, which is basically the step down from this one. It's called the Revo 2.0, and it's just not going to have as many features, but it's very similar. It just has less features and less power. It's also not going to have lithium batteries. It's going to have standard sealed lead acid batteries, but it's significantly cheaper. So the Baja Bandit retails for just over $3,000 at the time of this video, whereas the Revo 2.0 retails for just under $2,000. And it's not going to go as fast. It's not going to have as much power for going up hills and things like that, but it is going to have suspension. It is going to have a light kit. It is going to break down into 5 lightweight pieces. So if you need something that's just not as fast, not as powerful, but that has all the comfort features that you're looking for, it doesn't have the seat post suspension, but it does have front and rear suspension, so it's very smooth. And here's the comparison list if you want to see the specs compared side by side. So I'll pause and kind of scroll down the specifications so you can see the difference. Honestly, they're both great scooters. Highly recommend either one of them, but I like paying a little bit of extra to have like the top of the line, and going fast is important to me. I also like the fact that it has a lithium battery pack, so it's a little lighter when it comes to just taking the battery pack out. The lithium batteries give you a lot more range on a full charge. So, these are all things to consider. Well, folks, that's going to wrap it up. Make sure you stay tuned for the secret message to learn how to save big. If you're interested in one of these, we offer tax-free sales and free shipping. Thanks so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, guys. Stay tuned for the next one. Until next time, have a great day.